Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live. Very glad you're all here with me. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know you see me, you hear me. We're about to get into some very, very interesting numbers, into what's happening in the media, especially the liberal media. From what I'm seeing, from what everybody is saying, the media has turned against Joe Biden. Now, before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you knew or not, but Saudi Arabia made it now official and told the entire world that they will no longer be taking the petrodollar. They said that they are no longer starting, what's today? Starting as of 2 days ago, they no longer take the dollar for their oil, and now they only take their currency. And the BRICS nations are supposed to be coming out within the next 6 months to publicly announce a new super currency that all the BRICS nations, including Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, India, now Iran is joining, Saudi Arabia is joining, Abu Dhabi is joining. They're going to be using this new super currency to take down the dollar. Why am I saying that? Physical, constitutional, in your hand, tangible, real money, gold and silver. Midas Gold Group, they're the sponsor of this video and this channel. They insure your money. They protect your money from Bidenomics. And like Trump said in his last rally, when they do that, we are going to see inflation at numbers the world has never seen before. And the number way to do that is to protect your assets. MidasGoldGroup.com are non-commissioned salespeople. It's a Christian veteran family-owned company. And you can get free silver when you tell them Vlad sent you. Go to MidasGoldGroup.com. or call them at 480-360-3000. Everything is down below in the description. Let's get right into it. We're going to be looking at a couple different things. This is coming from liberal media. A prominent liberal publication has predicted a landslide victory for President Donald Trump in the upcoming 2024 presidential election, placing him in a clear lead over Democratic opponent Joe Biden. The forecast stands out notably because it comes from a source typically seen as favoring liberal viewpoints. The Economist model integrates a variety of data sources, including state and national polls and economic indicators. It generates its predictions by running over 10,000 simulations of the election, taking into account potential shifts in voter preference and economic trends. As of Monday, the model gives President Trump a 3/4 chance of securing the Electoral College victory, requiring to retain his position in the White House. Now, check this out. If the election were as they had it just a couple days ago, Trump gets 306 electoral votes and Joe Biden gets 232. So in Trump, in Michigan, he wins Michigan, he wins Wisconsin, he wins Pennsylvania, he wins Nevada, he wins Arizona, he wins Georgia. Now, we might all say, Vlad, that's just one. You're right. That is just one. Just one. But let's not forget, it's one very liberal, very pro-Joe Biden pollster. Let's look at this one. This comes from projects.538.com. Here we have June 27, 2024. Trump is at 40.9%. This is nationwide. Joe Biden is at 40.2%. Kennedy is at 9.2%. Now, these are all different pollsters. Now, we have Morning Consult showing Biden 44, Trump 43, Morning Consult 44, 43. But then we go to Reuters, Trump 38, Biden 37. Reuters, another one, 33 Trump, Biden 32. Another Reuters, 36 for Trump, 34 for Biden. I mean, yeah. And then here's Reuters, another one, Trump 41, Biden 39. Redfield and Wilson strategies. Trump at 40, Biden at 41. Echelon Insight, Trump 43, Biden 42. Now, when we look at these polls, and I've been talking to a couple pollsters and, well, people that are close to pollsters and how it works, they say go back to your memory in 2016. Every single pollster said that Hillary Clinton was going to win in a landslide. Not a single poll was showing Trump winning. Why? Because they usually take polls. Listen to this. This is very important what I say right here, ladies and gentlemen. When they take polls, they go to like downtown. They don't go into the suburbs. They don't go out into the country. They go downtown to the skyscrapers, the bankers, the college campuses, and they ask them. This is why all the pollsters got 2016 wrong, because they were not asking average Americans. They were going into the inner city, the liberal hive, so to say. They were going to college campuses. They were going to bankers. They were going to stock traders. They were not going to blue-collar workers. And Hillary Clinton, we all remember, 10-point lead, 20-point lead on election. On the morning of the election, she had a 98% chance of winning the election that day, and Trump only at 2%. But then we saw what happened. The pollsters are doing the same exact thing. When I'm even hearing right now, the polls are wrong. The polls are wrong. Yes, the polls are wrong. Why? Because they haven't learned from their mistakes. And we're going to talk about their mistakes and how they haven't learned from them yet. They're doing the same thing when it comes to polls. They're going downtown. They're going to college campuses. They're going to the bankers. They're going to where it's mostly liberal. But now we see a huge change. They're asking the same demographics in the same cities at the same locations. And it went from, in 2020, this time, the same time this year, Biden was leading over Trump by like 12 points. Now he's losing by a couple points. And that's just in the downtown. That's just around the liberal hive. Think about what's happening on the outskirts. But when I say that Democrats are making the same mistakes again, and they didn't learn from their mistakes the last time, here's what I mean. They're running. Nothing's worked. The political persecution of Trump didn't work. Impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2 didn't work. Russia, Ukraine. Nothing's worked. So what are they doing? Do you remember in 2016 and 2015 what we heard? If Trump wins, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to start World War III. He's going to start jailing his political opponents. None of that happened. They told us those stories, but those stories never came true. Now, they've tried everything to get rid of him. It's not working. They have no new ideas because, they're Democrats. So they're doing the same old tricks. Turn on CNN, turn on MSNBC, turn on Morning Joe. They're running with the same scam, the same fake stories, the same propaganda that they were running in 2016. Trump's going to be a dictator that's never going to leave office. Oh my goodness, World War III. Right? Why are they running with the same narrative? Because everything else failed. And so when you see the polls and you're like, how? I mean, Trump at 41, Biden at 40, how? Who? It's because they're asking the same people. Except 4 years ago and 8 years ago, when they were asking those Democrats, they were getting a 10-point lead for Biden, 10-point lead for Hillary. They're now asking the same people, and it's not working. Now, I want to show you, I believe I shared it. Yes, I did. I'm going to show you a video you are going to love right now. It is on my Twitter profile page. I shared it just about an hour ago, and now we're going to watch this. And you're going to love this. This is CNN polls this morning. Here we go.
CNN senior data reporter Harry Etten is with us. So where does the race stand among African-American voters right now?
Yeah, I keep looking for this to change, to go back to a historical norm. And it simply put has not yet. So this is the margin, or Biden and Trump among black voters compared where we were at this point.
Now look at this. Again, don't forget what I'm saying. They have you ever been polled? I've never been polled. I don't live in a major city. I don't live in a downtown area. They don't want to go to the suburbs or to the country or to small towns. So where is MSNBC and CNN located? Downtown New York. So they're polling the same people, the same demographic in the same locations. And in 2020, Biden was leading over Trump among the black vote 86% to 7%.
In 2020, compare where we are now. You know, at this point, look at this. In 2020,
Now it's 70 to 21.
Joe Biden was getting 86% of the African American vote. Look at where it is now. It's 70%. That's a 16-point drop, John.
Again, it's not that they're going to different places. No, everybody's tired of Joe Biden. People are waking up across all demographics.
And more than that, it's not just that Joe Biden is losing ground. It's that Donald Trump is gaining ground. You go from 7%, single digits.
See, he said it's not that Joe Biden is losing ground. It's Trump gaining ground. People are coming out in support of Trump and are going to vote for Trump. People that have never voted before. I met a black American at the gym last week who said, I've never voted before in my life. He's in his mid-40s. Said, I've never voted in my life, but I am this time, and I'm voting Trump.
At this point in 2020 to now 21%. And again, John, I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet.
He says, I keep looking for signs that these polls are going to go back to normal, and I don't see it. Our country will never go back to your so-called normal anymore. We are in a revolution, and it's not with, and the war and the revolution is not with wars or a hot war or tanks or rifles. No, it's a mental game. And the people are being freed by the democratic slaves. The democratic slave, how do you call it, plantation is being broken. It's being torn apart. And the Democrats are in fear, and they're scrambling, and they're terrified, and they're panicking because they're about to go out of business.
Yet in the polling, if anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
And when you dig into this number here, what is the makeup of that number?
This is where we get very interesting. So I decided to dive deeper into the crosstabs, figure out where is it that Joe Biden is truly struggling among black voters. All right, so this is black voters.
Ladies and gentlemen, how is this all going to end? What is happening? We see the media churning on Joe Biden. We see the Democrats, many very powerful Democrats, churning on Joe Biden. Last week, Donald Trump went to California. He went and met with super liberal, what do you call it? Super liberal people that are in like social media, and he raised over $20 million. Joe Biden 2 nights ago went to LA. There was Obama. There were all these movie stars, and Jack Black performed, and he raised 23 million. And that is horrible for an incumbent Democrat. Trump's last campaign 3 weeks ago raised 56 million. Then he was found guilty of those BS charges and raised over 400 million in the following 3 weeks. We see even in the fundraising, People aren't standing with Joe Biden, not the big bankers, nobody, not the Silicon Valley people. We're going to get our country back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get our country back. But here's what we have to do. First of all, we got to stay prayed up. We got to believe. Number two, we need to make sure all of our friends, relatives, neighbors, grandmas, grandpas, cousins, uncles, aunts, everybody's registered to vote and ready to vote. Now, if one of your friends or cousins is saying, I'm voting for Joe Biden, ask why. Have a conversation. Let them get emotional. You don't get emotionally in it. Take deep breaths. Listen to them and give them a factual argument. Try to wake them up. Every vote counts. We need to come out in numbers that are too big to rig. Yes, there are rumors on Capitol Hill that they will be replacing Joe Biden with Gavin Newsom. But I believe that people have made up their mind who's going to vote Democrat and who's going to vote Republican. There's maybe a couple 100,000 people in this entire country that have not made up their mind yet. But I believe it doesn't matter who the Democrats run. It's not going to matter. And even if they do replace Joe Biden with someone else, that's good for Trump, because it's unconstitutional and it's frankly illegal to run someone that didn't win a primary. Did the voters want Big Mike or Gavin Newsom? They weren't in the primary. They didn't run. In order for you to become the nominee, there's a process. The Democrats need to run a state-by-state election like the Republicans did. And then the one who wins the most states becomes the nominee. Joe Biden was running in the primary. He actually lost a couple states as an incumbent. So it's actually going to work even better for Trump as an argument. Plus, Newsom, everyone knows what's happening in California. The Democrats are fleeing from California. No one wants Newsom. No one wants Biden. No one wants Big Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Again, Midas Gold Group. And this is right now, when I say this, we really need to protect our money. Saudi Arabia no longer takes the dollar for oil. This is like losing a major war for the United States. And BRICS said within the next 3 to 6 months, they are going to be announcing a brand new super currency that the BRICS nations will only use for their trade. Now, BRICS nations combined is about 70% of the world population. They have India, they have China, they have Russia, they have South Africa, they have Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, Iran, and Turkey. And I think there's like 14 other countries that will be BRICS nations by the end of the year. MidasGoldGroup.com, or call them at 480-360-3000, or text Vlad, V-L-A-D, at the number 232425. Get free silver and qualifying orders when you tell them I sent you. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Trump 2024 or sooner.